Today I'll be going over the Jazz Waltz Footprints by Wayne Shorter. And I'll be playing the bass part, the head up in this area or this area, and showing how to do that hands together. And I'm also going to give some tips and tricks on soloing over these changes. Let's start with the bass part. When it goes to F minor 7, it transposes directly. At least that's the way I've heard it. And then we go back down to C minor. Then we have a couple of chords. We've got F sharp minor 7, flat 5. We have F7, sharp 11. We have E7, flat 5, sharp 9. And we have A7, flat 5, sharp 9. And we have a return to the bass line. In the right hand, we've got a pretty simple head here. Same thing, essentially, over F minor 7. Back to C minor 7. And we have let's do that hands together. Pretty hypnotic and interesting. All right, I'm going to do a solo over this. I'm going to try a couple of things out, and then I'll try to explain what I'm doing. So I did a couple of things there. One of the techniques I wanted to go over was this idea of playing octaves and filling those octaves with harmonies on the inside. Like that, using harmonies that are diatonic with the key. I did some runs. So just fast notes in the right hand. I did some interplay between the hands where sometimes my left hand was playing the bass part. Sometimes it was doing just chords. Sometimes it was doing a walking bass. Right? Just providing some different textures and variety. The ability to control these textures totally is one of the privileges of playing by yourself. Of course, I wouldn't be so free to do that, or I wouldn't feel so free to do that if I was playing with other people. I would want to respect their parts and try to stay out of their way musically. Let's go through a couple of ideas here. So let's say you've got a C minor 7 in this opening. A good scale to play over that is C Dorian, which is C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. Same thing with the F minor 7. I would do F Dorian. Let's see for the F sharp minor 7 flat 5. I would probably do that scale. F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. For the F7 sharp 11, I would probably do that. F, G, A, B natural to match that sharp 11, C, D, E flat, and F. For E7 flat 5, let's see, we've got a sharp 9. So I would probably do that scale, which is an octatonic scale. That's E, F, G, A flat, B flat, B, C sharp, D, E. You can of course do other scales if you want. Similarly with the A7 flat 5, I would do an A octatonic scale, which is A, B flat, C, C sharp, E flat, E, F sharp, G, and A. Something like that. I suppose you could also use the whole tone scale, except that would go against the G, in this case the sharp 9. So those are some suggestions on scales you could use. The reason I bring up the scales, however, is because they can help me do more than just play runs in the right hand. They can also help me fill in chords in my right hand solo. So let's say I had the C minor 7. We've agreed that the notes to borrow from for the solo for this would be C Dorian, which is C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, and C. So let's say I have a line I want to play, like, let's say I wanted to play that. D, C, B flat, F, G, D, C, B flat, F, G. Now of course I can just do single notes. I can do octaves. I can also fill those octaves with notes chosen from the Dorian scale. So let's say I wanted to fill it with a single note. All right. I'll choose A. I know A is in the Dorian scale. I notice that it's a fifth from the bottom here. I could do the same thing with the next chord. I could do the same thing with the next chord, adding an F, a C, a D. All of those notes are in C Dorian. Very pretty. Let's say we wanted to add some more. Okay, let's say I chose to add F. All right, well, I could take that down to the next chord with an E flat. I could take it down to the next chord. I wouldn't want to just do a D flat though, probably, because that D flat is not diatonic. It's not in the C Dorian. So what I would probably do is a D natural. So what I have is, I could go down to F with an A, G with a B flat. Basically what I'm doing is I'm setting myself the constraint of only playing notes that are within that scale, and then filling in my octaves like, I don't know, like some kind of hot dog or a pastry. These are the outsides, these are the cream filling. That would be the most dense possible version of this. Still pleasant, but quite dissonant. I would probably go with fewer notes than that, you know? Something like that. Everything is from the same scale. So if you want to practice this technique outside of something like footprints, just do it with a C major scale. So let's say you were over a C major chord and you wanted to do a melody like something like that, and you wanted to put that in octaves, and those octaves were not enough, well, you could fill those octaves with notes from the C major scale, and you're pretty safe. Right? You could even do this. I mean, that's very dissonant. I probably wouldn't go that far. I would do something more like this. Right? That's something you can do to practice that. The aim of the game is to start with a scale, use that as your building materials, and fill octaves, and indeed fill your solo with material that comes whole cloth from that material. All right, I hope that's useful. I'm going to end this video with a run through of footprints. That's a solo piano version, and puts all this together. All right. I hope you had fun, and I hope that you gained some useful knowledge from this. Thanks for listening.